time for me to read the most popular books on the internet, and that includes A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I happened to find this OG edition at a used bookstore here in New Mexico, and I am about halfway through it already. I'm so sorry, but it's honestly not that good so far. It's getting good. I'm kind of at a turning point in the book, I think, where it's gonna get good, but I've heard that this isn't like the best book in the series, obviously. I've heard that A Court of Mist and Fury is the best one. It took me a while to get into this, but now I'm finally at a kind of exciting part, and I'm gonna finish this book today. Okay? I do think it was a mistake reading Throne of Glass before reading ACOTAR, if I do say so myself, because I just feel like nothing else is going to ever compare to Throne of Glass, unfortunately. So that's fun. But I'm going to be reading the rest of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then I have a few books on my radar. I have Beach Read. I want to read Divine Rivals. I want to read Powerless. So we kind of have an ambitious TBR for this video. I'm determined. I know I can do it. I have Divine Rivals downloaded on my Kindle already, and I'm going to read Beach Read tomorrow. I'm going to finish this today as well. So I only have, well, I'm accidentally 300 pages into this, and I haven't filmed me reading any of it. But I will say, like I was saying a minute ago, the first half kind of boring. Not super into it. I also obviously kind of have some spoilers already for like who Feyre ends up with, so like the love interest in this book I'm not that interested in, because I know she's not going to end up with him, just based off of even Throne of Glass and based off of just being on the internet. Like everybody knows who Feyre is going to be with, okay? So I have about 100 pages left. Yeah, actually exactly 100 pages left. So I'm going to finish this book today, and I might start Beach Read, I might start Divine Rivals. We'll see what I do. Let's get into it. It is a beautiful day outside, so I'm going to sit out here on the patio and finish this book. I have about 100 pages left, as I said earlier, and I'm going to finish it. It's getting pretty good, honestly. I just don't know how they're going to finish, like pack so much into 100 pages, but I guess we'll see. I also have a very bad feeling that I'm going to want to read A Court of Mist and Fury right after reading this book, but I have other books to read for this video, so maybe stay tuned for an ACOTAR reading vlog soon of reading all the ACOTAR books. But for now, let's finish ACOTAR. I just finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, ACOTAR, the first book in the ACOTAR series, and I'm gonna give this a 3.75. Okay, it was good. I recommend it. Wasn't my favorite book in the world. I have a feeling the next one is going to be really, really good, but I'm glad I read it, and now I'm kind of into the series. I definitely have the rest of this series on my end of year TBR, but I just don't really have the time to read the rest of the books in this series right now, so hopefully later this spring, hopefully later this summer, I will get to the rest of these books. But it was very good. I liked it. That's pretty much all I have to say. I feel like there wasn't much else. I really liked it. It wasn't as smutty as I thought it was going to be, which is good. Like there was one scene that was like literally so brief that it was just nice, you know? I've just really thought that ACOTAR was literally just only smut and spice, so it's kind of nice that there is an actual plot and I didn't have to worry about skipping over scenes every 5 chapters. Now I've heard that is true for A Court of Silver Flames, but that's like the last book, and I've heard like you don't even really need to read that, so I guess we'll see what happens when I get to that book eventually. But 3.5 stars, I really like this book. I started Beach Read yesterday, and I am obsessed. This is nothing like what I thought it was going to be like, if that makes any sense. Based off of the cover, you would think that this is going to be like a fluffy romance, you know, just kind of has no deeper meaning, anything like that, but the writing style is beautiful. I am obsessed with Emily Henry now. Her writing style is amazing. It's so lyrical and kind of like flowy in a way. It's just very beautiful writing. Like there's so many quotes in here that like are just such good quotes, I guess is the way to say it. But I am loving this book so far. It's so good. And it's going over much more serious topics than I thought it was going to, which I'm kind of enjoying. It's amazing. I'm gonna keep reading for a little bit. Okay, it is later in the day and I finished Beach Read. I am obsessed with this book. 4.5 stars. I didn't quite get the 5-star feeling, so it's not like a complete 5 stars, but I am like thoroughly obsessed with this book. It was so good. It was nothing at all. I said this earlier, I think, when I was reading, but it's kind of nothing like I expected it to be based off of the cover and just kind of what I know of Emily Henry books. And even the title, like Beach Read, I just really assumed it to be this like very fluffy, no deep meaning kind of book, but it had tons of deep meaning, and Emily Henry's writing style is beautiful. I loved all the quotes. The like, I feel overwhelmed that you exist, like that one is just so good. And there's so much, even the beginning just like really was reflective, I guess is kind of the writing that I would say. Like our main character is very reflective on her life, and that's kind of how we learn about a lot of the things that are going on with her situation, at least. And so I just really enjoyed this book. 4.5 stars, and I would say it's definitely worth the hype. It is now time to start our third book for this video. I'm going to begin reading Divine Rivals. I have it on my Kindle because I have the physical copy at home and I'm obviously not home yet. So let's get reading this very popular book. This bed is honestly pretty cozy, but I just can't wait to be in my bed at home. It's going to be so amazing. I can't wait to see my cats. I'm gonna be home so soon. Yay, we're leaving today. Isaiah and I are finally on our way home from out west, our New Mexico trip, and I started Divine Rivals this morning in the car. We had like a 13-hour drive, and I'm now 64% of the way through this book. I am devouring. I only read for like 2 hours maybe, and I'm pretty far into the book. I am obsessed. It is actually nothing like what I thought it was gonna be like. I thought it was like a historical fiction with like a splash of magic, but it is actually a like fantasy book. Like I didn't realize that this was set in a fantasy world. I genuinely thought that this was in like historical US. Like I thought it was during like World War II era sort of situation, and that there was going to be like some magical realism elements to it, but no, this is fully fantasy and I am fully enjoying it. I cannot wait to see what happens. I am at a very crazy part right now and I am obsessed with our main characters. I'm just absolutely loving this book so far. Hi everyone, Okay, just let me talk for 1 second here. I just finished Divine Rivals and it was so good. The cliffhanger is crazy, but I can't start the next book right away because I have another book I have to get to for this video. So I'll give you my full thoughts on Divine Rivals when I get home here in a little bit. Hello! So I am back home finally, as you can see by my beautiful green couch. And I finished Divine Rivals about a week ago, I would say, and I am now 241 pages into Powerless. I rated Divine Rivals a 5-star. I'm obsessed with this book. I really want to read Ruthless Vows and find out what happens to Roman and Iris because they're just probably one of my favorite book couples I've ever read. Their romance is just so sweet. It's very seemingly grumpy sunshine, at least at the beginning of the book, but then it kind of turns into like boy falls first kind of situation. It's just so sweet. I am obsessed with pretty much every aspect of this book. I will say that it did feel a little bit rushed as we got towards the end of the plot, but other than that, I love this book. It was a 5 stars. Okay, and now for Powerless. This book has literally been like talked about on the internet so many times that I just had to read it. I've been dying to read this. My initial thoughts, I'm not even halfway through the book. It's a pretty long book. I'm not even halfway through. And it's kind of feeling like a Hunger Games retelling a little bit. I'm loving the banter. I'm loving the tension. Everything that I've heard about it is true. The writing style just feels very familiar, and I'm not sure if that's just because she's gained a lot of inspiration from great authors like Sarah J. Maas and Suzanne Collins. I don't know. I just feel like it's a very familiar writing style that I can't quite place my finger on to where I've read it before. And everything just feels very familiar about the world, which I think is a good thing, but I can't tell if I like that or not. I can't tell if I like that I've read stuff like this before or not. So I guess we're gonna keep reading and find out what happens. I bought Powerful a few days ago, so I'm probably going to read that right after I finish this. the little novella that Lauren Roberts came out with to go along with this book. So I guess we'll see what we think. Let's read. Time to read some more. Okay, y'all, I finished Powerless last night, and I'm going to rate this a 4 stars, okay? I feel like that's a little crazy. I know a lot of people who have rated this 5 stars. It just wasn't quite 5 stars for me. I really enjoyed it as a book. I really enjoyed the plot. I really enjoyed the banter and the tension, you know, as everyone says, but it was just honestly a little bit too much banter and tension for me. I'm just gonna be completely honest. It just felt a little bit too much, and like maybe it's just because I know that this is her first book that I'm kind of having these feelings of like it feeling like a debut novel, but I don't know. I really liked it and I would definitely recommend it, and I'm super excited to read Reckless when it comes out in July. Obviously the ending of this is insane. No spoilers, but like cliffhanger for sure. And I just got Powerful, actually the little novella about Adina's story, so I'm excited to read that book. It's only like 200 pages long, so I'll probably read that in the next day or so, but yeah, 4 stars. I really liked this book. Overall, throughout this process, I have definitely learned that hyped up books are worth it. I mean, I think books are hyped up for a reason. It doesn't mean that they can't be overrated or maybe they're not the best book in the entire world, but I think hyped up books do deserve the hype for the most part. I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.